everyone, and welcome to December's President's live stream. My name is Advita Patel, and I am CIPR's President for 2025. And today it's my final live as President for CIPR, and it's going to be the first solo show as well, as we've got lots of highlights I want to share with you on what's happened over the last 12 months. I also have some thank yous to share and some great updates to share with all of you as well. If you're joining me live, then please feel free to say hello in the chat. It would be great to say hello to all of you. Please feel free to let me know where you're tuning in from as well. That would be amazing. I actually can't believe it's my very last live. This year has flown by. When I started in January, I was like, oh gosh, there's so much to do and we got such a long time to do it. But honestly, it's that saying, isn't it? That the years, the days are long, but the years are short, right? So it definitely has been a short year, much quicker than I thought it would be. But it's been an absolutely fantastic year. And I've learned lots about myself. I've learned lots about CIPR and our membership. And I want to share with you some brilliant highlights to kick us off our session today. So let's crack on with our highlights from volunteers. So if you have been a volunteer for CIPR, you would have seen that we recently launched a new online volunteer induction program. And hopefully, if you have volunteered, you have taken part in that. We've got nearly 500 volunteers for CIPR, and CIPR would not run without our volunteer network. They are the backbone of everything that we do, and the work that they do is just phenomenal as well. So to support their work and to make sure that they have the adequate support around them, we have an induction program which was launched this year thanks to the wonderful volunteering team, Hayley and Paul. We also this year launched 3 new networks. So the STEM network group, which is doing some fantastic work. I was lucky enough to go and spend some time with them at the AGM, doing some brilliant work. We also have the Independent Practitioners Network, which was launched earlier this year. They are also doing some brilliant stuff, and hopefully you've checked out some of their events, which I want to talk about a bit later because I was, again, privileged enough to be part of one of them. And the ESG network has also launched. So I know they have got some fantastic plans for 2026. So make sure that you keep your eyes and ears open for that. We have also, can you believe it, delivered almost 200 events, which have been attended by almost 10,000 PR practitioners across the UK. And it's been absolutely phenomenal to see that. We've accumulated almost 945 points as well. And it's been fantastic. And again, I have been lucky enough to go along to some of these events, which have just been brilliant, absolutely brilliant. The Crisis Comms Network, a special shout out to this network because they have had an incredibly strong year with their top 4 events amassing well over 1,000 registrants. I think that kind of clarifies the type of year we've had in 2025, where there's lots of work that needs to be done around crisis communications, and the team in the network have done some fantastic work. So a big shout out for them as well. We've also had groups host more than 20 events with over 100 people attending them, including the Midland Group's annual PR conference, which I've heard nothing but incredible things about. CIPR Inside also hosted the State of the Sector analysis, which attracted more than 100 people, an intro into Change Comms as well. The newly relaunched Independent Practitioner Network, as I mentioned, hosted an event last month, actually, or earlier this month, actually, on the Big Ick and Big Yourself Up event, which I spoke at alongside some other brilliant independent consultants and practitioners. And it was just fantastic to see so many people come along to that as well. So huge amounts of work. These are just highlights of what they've achieved this year, not even the full list of everything that we have done. So well done to our volunteer network. Honestly, you folks are doing some brilliant work, and it's not taken for granted. We speak about it every time we have our board meetings and in council as well. So well done to each and every single one of you. You have done some fantastic work. And then highlights from our head office. So our head office, some of you don't know this, but it's actually quite a small team. There's around 35 people who are employed by CIPR, and they are the ones who are running the kind of the membership offers, the volunteering network, all the kind of events and stuff they do. So it's a small but very mighty team. And this year we have achieved a new record of chartership members, with 178 members achieving chartership this year, which is a 16% increase on last year. And we're almost reaching our 1,000 chartered members. So that will be happening in 2026. And we've got some plans taking place on how we are going to celebrate that. So look out for that. We've also had some incredible media coverage where CIPR has been featured in local, regional, national, and trade press as well, in titles ranging from things like the Financial Times, The Guardian, to PR Week and Politico. So well done to John and Alex and the team who work tirelessly behind the scenes in getting CIPR visibility out there as well. So brilliant work there. We have a partnership with a third-party non-exec director program. I'm just going to get their name so I don't get it wrong for you. So the partnership is with the Non-Exec Director Association, who delivers specialist training that prepares members for senior board and chief communications officer roles. And this year we have enabled 70 CIPR members to access that training. And it's available for all members, but the chartership, if you're chartered, you get a special discount to be part of that as well. So that's incredible that we've managed to support 70 CIPR members on that. If you were looking to come along to our annual conference that took place this year in November, we had a sold out annual conference. It was, honestly, I loved working on that conference with Kat and the team. This year's theme was on modern leadership. It demonstrated an exceptional caliber of speakers and content, and the feedback has been incredible, and it just reinforces the event's position in the must-attend industry event of the year. And I called it right at the start of that event and said it's going to be the best event, and I don't think any of us were disappointed. And thank you so much if you joined us in person or online, and I hope that you found the event just as interesting and as inspiring as I did. The speakers, as I said, were phenomenal, and we have got some of that on playback as well, so you do have access to that if you were in attendance, in case you missed any of the speakers or you just wanted to catch up as well. We also, our joint reverse mentoring scheme with Taylor Bennett Foundation won the PR Week Award, which again recognises the strength and impact of that programme. And if you don't know what the reverse mentoring scheme is with Taylor Bennett Foundation, then please do drop a note to Avril Lee, who has been the pioneer alongside the Taylor Bennett Foundation and Corey in doing this work, and her D&I committee as well. So please do look into that. It's been some fantastic work that's taken place, and it's a brilliant scheme. And it's just launched, and it's just kicking off, and it happens every year. We also had our first ever analysis of UK-wide ONS census data from England, Wales, Scotland, and Northern Ireland on the PR population, building on the findings from our 2024 report, which only looked at England and Wales. So if you haven't seen that, you can check that out in our newsroom. It was a great analysis of what's going on in our industry. We also funded and launched our 4 fantastic research fund projects which has generated some incredible insights for our profession at large, starting with the Socially Mobiles Team's Missing Women study, which was just, if you haven't read that report, you must read it. It's been some fantastic work, which has led to some brilliant initiatives as well to make sure that we are taking and paying attention to some of the findings in that report around women who go missing in their career once they get to a certain point. We also recently finished with the November report, which was Caroline Spence's report around how career choice is impacted in the next generation as well. So look out for Caroline's report as well. We had John Clegg, who did a report on small organizations, fewer than 500 people, and how internal comms works in those organizations. A great insightful report again with some fantastic tips in there. And then we also had an ageism report as well, which you must check out. And all of these reports are available on our news section of CIPR, so please do download them and take some time to read them. And they're all worth CPD points as well, so if you do read them, make sure you log your CPD points. We have expanded our on-demand learning platform. I've spoken to a few members about ODL as we frame it, and some of you don't actually know it exists, but we do have an on-demand learning platform which has over 15 courses and 50 modules at an affordable price point. And this was developed a couple of years ago in response to people who wanted a more affordable, flexible training and courses and workshops. And it's growing every month in terms of the training we add on there, but it's available to all of you. So please do check out our on-demand learning platform. It's an incredible resource. We've got fantastic training on there, one of which is the EDI modules as well. So if you haven't seen them, then please do check them out because they are brilliant. And each one is worth 5 CPD points again. And then alongside our on-demand learning platform, we've also published some new skills guides on internal crisis communications and ethics in action. We've also have podcasts. So we have a podcast at CIPR. If you didn't know, it's a fantastic podcast. That podcast cover issues from things like overcoming bias in decision making and how PR pros can prep to join boards and we also launched the updated ESG guidance and the updated internship and work placement toolkit to help employees and employers with setting up with effective work placement programs. So some incredible stuff that's taken place and such great value for our members in sense of what's available to you if you weren't aware. I know things can get quite busy. I know we have lots of emails going back and forth. You may not get if the algorithm is not on your side, you may not see some of these updates from CIPR on Instagram or on LinkedIn. But most of all this stuff is available on our newsroom feed. And I'll make sure after this live as well, where I can, I'll pop some links into the chat function as well, so you can find it quite easily. But honestly, all of these things have been incredible, and it's such a privilege to be able to read them in advance and add some commentary to it as well. So brilliant work from our wonderful team in HQ. And then in terms of our membership highlights, this year has been phenomenal in terms of corporate affiliates. So Lindsay and the team have brought in 47 corporate affiliates, which brings this year in the history of CIPR at the highest level of corporate subscriptions, which is just fantastic. And I'm optimistic that this demonstrates the value organizations are starting to see in membership and in industry bodies, where they are supporting their colleagues in making sure they're increasing and advancing in their profession through CIPR and CPD and other networking events we have out there. So it's so fantastic to see these corporate affiliates join us. And I've been lucky enough to go along to some of these sites as well and welcome the team into our community. So welcome if you are part of the corporate affiliate membership. It's been brilliant to get to know you over time, and well done to the team behind that in bringing all these folks into our membership. We have made some enhancements to our CIPR website. We've listened to some of your feedback, and it has started to improve some of our membership experience. We still have a bit more work to do on that, but it's doing some brilliant stuff already, and we've made some great changes, including on the internal IT processes as well, which has helped improve how we are expanding our offer on learning and development as well. You would have seen earlier this year, we launched the lobbying report, No Rules Britannia, which John and the team were responsible for, and it was published showing that Westminster has the lowest level of transparency in the Western world when it comes to legislation, which was, again, if you haven't seen that report, then please do check it out. The team are doing some phenomenal work on the lobbying agenda, and we have got some brilliant things coming up in 2026 as well. Hopefully you saw the report and the news that we signed the Venice Pledge as part of our commitment to make sure that we are adhering to the ethical use of AI. This was an incredibly important part of the work we're doing with AI, and it's really important that we support the ethical use of that as well. So really proud to stand alongside that. We also stepped up the integration of AI in our training to ensure that we still remain the leading global provider of AI training for PR professionals. So if you haven't seen our training around AI, then check it out. We have got some great updated training available on that. We published our first ever EDI report as well. Again, a brilliant piece of work. It shows that we have made some progress, but there's still a lot more that we do need to do. You've seen the rhetoric around EDI out across the globe. We've had a bit of a rocky year, I would say, with it. There's lots of apprehension. There's people are struggling to understand what role they now play. And what I would say in this is, we have provided lots of guidance and support for our members around EDI and how PR professionals and communication professionals can support their clients and organizations that they work with when it comes to this work. It isn't easy. It isn't something that you can just learn overnight. It's an ever growing commitment, which is why we are going to be launching in March as part of our CPD that you're going to logging 5 mandatory points for EDI, just as we do with ethics. It's a big part of our strategy. It's a big part of our future. It's really important that we keep on growing our skills in this work and we keep our support as allies, because we're allies for each other, but also as advisors and strategic advisors at that as well. So we need to understand at the very least about what the future holds for our industry, but also for the organizations that we support, and EDI plays a big part in that. We redefined and continuing to redefine our membership value proposition. So some of you would have probably seen some of that work that's been led by Sarah Ion. Our volunteers have also participated in that. And the idea behind the member value proposition work was to make sure that no matter where you are in your career, whether you're starting out or you're mid-level or you're at the more senior level, when you become part of CIPR membership, you know the journey that you may need to take to advance in your career, regardless of where you are. So the value proposition allows you to see that a bit clearly. Because when you join CIPR, I completely recognize and understand how overwhelming it can be sometimes in terms of what you need to get involved in, where can you find information. We've got these incredible groups, networks, and regional support as well, but sometimes it can be difficult to know where to go and what to do. So these membership value propositions that are being developed should give you a little bit more guidance on how you can make the best of your membership and the value that it can bring for you as well. So we'll be talking more about that in 2026, but thank you if you have contributed to that work and for the support you've shown for that work, because it's an important piece of work, and I know Sarah and the team have done some incredible work and put lots of hours behind that as well. We also launched our new training course in neuro inclusion, and there's also a dedicated LinkedIn page, if you didn't know, for people who want to find out more, for people who may have been recently got a formal diagnosis or even informally diagnosis, so you just want to kind of support this work around neurodiversity, there is a LinkedIn group page which you can apply to join, and the team will let you into that. But the training course is something that has been on the works for a while, and so we're really proud to launch that. So please do check out the neuro inclusion work. Some fantastic things taking place there. And then we also have a new partnership to deliver PR apprenticeship with JGA, which we're excited about. We've had lots of different conversations with what AI means for the future talent, and how do we make sure we're supporting our agencies, organizations, to make sure that the talent pipeline remains steady when it comes to learning about the work that we do, and making sure that our entry-level folks have the support and the education they need to progress and make sure our pipeline doesn't dry out, because there is a risk of that happening at times as well. So that is our highlights so far. I am going to check the comments to make sure I haven't missed any questions. Oh, there's lots of folks here. Welcome. Someone is tuning in. It says LinkedIn user. I can't see who that is, but from a chilly and foggy Bournemouth. I mean, I live in Manchester. I mean, if it's not chilly and foggy in Manchester, then, you know, something's gone wrong. But it is definitely chilly and foggy here as well. Welcome, Susie. Thank you, from the northeast of Scotland. And you haven't mentioned, oh, you said it. I was going to say you haven't mentioned the weather, Susie, but you have. It's a mild in the northeast of Scotland today. Thank you, all of you, for joining us. Here's Henry. Decided not so mild part of Africa. And you know what I love about our membership is the global reach that we have. It's something that I've been a volunteer for CIPR for 15 years. I joined CIPR as part of the CIPR Inside Committee, the Internal Comms Committee, 15 years ago. And I remember trekking down to London to go to the AGM and put my hand up to volunteer. And one thing I wasn't aware of when I was a member of CIPR, not when I was a volunteer, but when I was a member, is just how big our reach actually is in terms of our membership. And I've met members from Mauritius, from Sri Lanka, from Africa, from, you know, people from India. And it's just absolutely brilliant to see that CIPR is reaching so many different public relation professionals and communication professionals out there, and we're learning from each other as well. And I've been lucky enough again to go along to CIPR International's committees events as well, where they're bringing in so many different thoughts and ideas. So welcome if you have joined us from outside of the UK recently, and if there's anything that you need support with around your membership, then please do let us know. Because earlier this year, which has made it more accessible, we did launch our monthly payments for folks outside of the UK. So it just makes it a little bit more accessible, our membership. And we've got, talking about international, we've got Rakitha from Colombo, from Sri Lanka. So our next president, Bazana Badul, has been spending 3 weeks in Sri Lanka alongside Rishini for various different reasons, but one of which was to raise the visibility of CIPR, but also some of the work Bazana does with the Halo Trust, where she's a non-exec director. But Rishini is our ambassador, from CIPR ambassador in Sri Lanka. So we're hoping to welcome more Sri Lankan members to our network as well. So welcome if you have joined us from Sri Lanka. Moving on to one of my favorite parts of this live is where we are celebrating some of you for the work you've done either through chartership or through the CPD logging. And it's been my most favorite thing to do when I do these lives. And I get so many brilliant comments from the folks who have featured on this list. And I am sad. This is one thing I am really sad about, is that, you know, it's my last time in sharing this, but I may, you know, as vice president, I may ask Graham and the team to keep me updated. So keep looking out for these lists. They're not for everybody, but I love a little bit of gentle competition when it comes to logging CPD. But it's been brilliant to see some of you completely dedicate your CPD this year and watch you kind of grow your points. And you've definitely putting me to shame, some of you on this list, honestly. So I'm going to share who has featured in our list for the end of the year, who's number one spot. So here we are. So we've got Martine, who has logged a phenomenal 645 points this year. I mean, I said, like, talk about, holding the mirror up to me. I really need to get a skate on this. We've also got Marita, who has retained her spot there at 619 spots. Ezenwa, who has got 519 points there. We've got the infamous Mr. Stephen Waddington here, or famous, not infamous, 485 points on there. And then Jonathan at 432 points. Louise at 353. Leona is crawling just quickly behind Louise at 325. Then we've got Jack at 212, Christopher at 205, and then Alison Gallagher Hughes at 195 points. Well done to each and every one of you. I mean, that is some incredible work on your part as well. And like I said, it's something that I definitely need to get my acting gear. One thing I have done, top tip, is I've been using AI to log my CPD. So what I do to make sure it just eases off the pressure when it comes to the end of the CPD year, I voice note in my chat the CPD that I've done. And I've set it up so the 2 questions that it asks on your CPD portal are basically talking to my chat in terms of what I've learned and how I'm going to use that information in my work. And it puts it in a nice little neat spreadsheet for me, and I can just copy and paste it at the end of every quarter, which is what I try to do, and put it in there. So if you're struggling to log CPD and you're kind of scrambling around trying to figure out what you did over the year, then try that out and see what you think. It works really well when I remember to do it, obviously. So I have to put a reminder in my calendar to remind me to do it. But it's a brilliant way to use AI if it is something you want to test out. And it's worked really well. So when I do remember to do it and my calendar reminds me to do it, it does work incredibly well. And then, like I said, I log it every 90 days. So check it out and let me know how you get on with that. And then, as I mentioned earlier, we have got a load of folks who have recently been chartered this year. So well done to all these incredible individuals who have received their chartership qualification this year. These are our folks from November and December's cohort. I have spoken quite vulnerably about chartership and how it actually changed my career. And it isn't something that I took lightly. I wanted to make sure it's an investment of not only monetary investment, but also time investment. But chartership, when I did it in 2018, completely transformed my confidence in the work that I was doing. And also helped me make the decision to step into the world that I'm in today. And I can't highly recommend it. If you are at that point in your career where you're looking for your next advancement and you want a boost of confidence and a push in your self-esteem, then do check out the chartership. It's an incredible day. You get to meet some fantastic people, learn some new things, and understand and see where your strengths are and where some of your learning opportunities may be. And I absolutely loved my day. And like I said, it transformed my confidence. It boosted my self-esteem. It opened up networks. It brought in some brilliant people in my life. And it's something that I still, to this day, 8 years on, I don't regret at all. So if you're on the fence and you're not sure, then please do check it out. And speak to other chartered members as well. We have a chartership buddying program as well, so you can look at who the chartership buddies are. They will give you some honest insights on how they experience chartership. I highly recommend you get yourself a buddy if you are looking at what chartership may mean for you, and if you're ready for chartership as well, because not everyone's ready. Some people may want to take a little bit of time. And if you are renewing your membership and you add chartership at the time of renewal, you'll save yourself a couple of £100 as well. So if you're not quite ready now, but you know you'll be ready in the next year or two, then make sure when it comes to renewal, you ask the team to add chartership to your membership. So whenever you're ready, you can pay for that and it's a bit more accessible as well. So that was a whistle-stop tour of everything that has happened over the last 12 months at CIPR. We have achieved some incredible stuff. And I have been so privileged and proud to be part of some of this. And it's been an absolute honor being CIPR president for the last 12 months. I have learned a lot about myself. I've learned a lot about the institution. Mostly the biggest learning, and I knew this anyway, but the biggest learning is just how much energy, effort, work goes into delivering the service that has been delivered to you as members. And I want to thank each and every single volunteer again, every single person at headquarters around who have supported tirelessly. It is, managing more than 11,500 members, 500 volunteers with such a small team, is something that we definitely don't take for granted. And I saw firsthand just how hard that team works every single day. So thank you to everybody at HQ for all your work and energy. Thank you to Alistair as the CEO for his support and guidance for the last 12 months as well. It's been brilliant working with Alistair. Maria Miller, who's our new chair. As you all may be aware, we launched our new governance process this year. So we've been navigating that. And Maria Miller is our new chair. And it's been really interesting to work with this new process and learn more about it. So thank you to Maria for working with us and for supporting. And also a huge thanks to Fazana, who was president-elect and will now go on to becoming president. And I'm really looking forward to supporting her reign as president for 2026. She has got some incredible, fantastic plans ready to go for 2026. And you'll be seeing some of these come to fruition in the new year. She's currently flying back from Sri Lanka, but I'm sure you will hear from her in the new year about some of the brilliant things she has had planned. And thank you to all of you, our members and our non-members who join me every month on these LinkedIn Lives. I have absolutely enjoyed engaging with our guests, hopefully sharing some of the brilliant things that goes on behind the scenes to all of you, and for all your thanks and encouragement throughout my year as well. I definitely couldn't have done it without your support and advice. It's been brilliant to work with all of you. If you celebrate Christmas, then make sure you have a brilliant Christmas time. If you don't celebrate, then enjoy the festivities and get some downtime and some rest. And if you're working throughout Christmas, then make sure that you do get some time for yourself as well. And I'm not going anywhere. I'm going to be the past president or the vice president for 2026. So you'll still see me around at various events. If you ever need to share anything, you got some ideas, you got some tips, you want to know something, then you can always email the president at cipr.co.uk inbox. That will go to the presidents and we'll pick that up as well. Enjoy the new year as well, and I will see you in 2026. Take care of yourselves and see you soon.